Alright, we're about to start this video. It's going to be part 2 of our Fort Irwin experience. So, we're going to go over the same questions as the ones from the last video. So let's start from you over here to the left, to the right, Aaliyah. We're going to work our way over. Just answer the first question.
Okay, my name is Aaliyah Walker. I'm a 92 Alpha. I've been in the Army going on 2.5 years. I'm from Arizona and this is my first duty station.
My name is Amarte James. I'm a 91 Bravo. I've been here for about 2 years. I'm from Florida and this is my first duty station.
My name is Timothy Zeller. I'm at 88 November. I've been in the Army about 2 years and 8 months now. I'm from New Jersey and this is my first duty station.
Alright, question number 2. This time we're going to start with Zeller and work our way back on the left. The question is, how do you feel, or how do you feel when you were told that you were going to be sent to Fort Irwin?
First, being, growing up on the East Coast my whole life, my training, being on the East Coast, I heard California. I got excited. Everyone thinks California, palm trees and beaches. That was until my drill sergeant at AIT said, look it up. And I just knew something was wrong.
What is you, James?
I was just more curious, if anything. I wanted to, I was asking everybody, what is this duty station like? I was just trying to ask my sergeants, okay, what is it about? What is this duty station? I didn't know anything about it. I knew it was in California, that was about it. But I had more curiousness over excitement and anything else.
Alright, mine is the same as Zeller. I thought California, it was pretty exciting because I am from Arizona. So I've been to the good parts of California. So I was thinking, okay, cool, California. Yeah.
Alright, so I'm just going to add this in here. None of you have any roots in California, so you didn't pick this place because of family.
None.
No.
Alright, so I think I might skip the third question. You kind of answered that. I don't think that would be too different. The fourth question I will ask, this time we're going to start with James, to Leah, to Zeller. Alright, so what was coming to Fort Irwin like, the PCSing process from leaving AIT to getting here in reception?
I mean, leaving was okay. Me and my buddies had to literally take a taxi and just ship ourselves to the airport. But once I got here, I had no contact with my sergeants or anything like that. So it was I had to waited at the USAA or
USO.
Basically. And USO. And basically I was just more or less I waited for a shuttle to get there and it just took me a long time to get on post itself.
Mine was pretty easy. Of course, went to the airport, Fort Lee, flew to Arizona. I took some leave because I have family in Arizona. I have kids in Arizona, so I was able to take leave. And I just drove myself all the way out here. But I got here at midnight. Everything was closed. I did not know where to go, who to see, so I was driving everywhere. Good thing I did have a friend here that is from the same reservation that I'm from back in Arizona, so he was able to take me places to figure out where I needed to start.
So my entire travel from Fort Lee at AIT, I was by myself. I caught an Uber from Fort Lee to Richmond at the airport. First stop was at Dallas Fort Worth, where I had a connecting flight. Then got to Ontario Airport at about 10:30 in the morning. They said, take a shuttle to USO, contact someone, they'll get you a ride here. Oh, we're not sending anyone till 2200. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. 2200. Hung out at the USO all day. Actually helped them cook there because they were having big groups of National Guard people coming in and out. and 2200 came. By the time I actually got here to base, it was about midnight. My sponsor met me at reception. I got into my room, and yeah, it was the day before my 30th birthday when I got here.
All right, I'm gonna add a quick question that's not on here. Do any of you feel comfortable explaining a little bit about USO? Because before I joined the military, I had traveled around a little bit. I think I've been in the airport maybe 4 times myself, and maybe traveled by myself twice before ever going through the Army. So I was unaware of what USO was or what they did at all. I didn't know you were sitting there chilling with games. You guys could eat for free. You guys just sleep there like overnight. I didn't know anything about that. So do you guys know anything about USO that can help a new soldier? Because it really helped me when I was new.
So actually, like, I knew about it prior because, like, I had a bunch of family in, and, like, I traveled with my brother a few times. So the USO is good for, like, any, active duty, National Guard, even spouses or family. It's a separate area in, like, the airports, or it might be a completely separate building, like, at Ontario.
Yes,
it's actually, like, a mile away. As you heard, they offer, like, free food. They have, books there. They have video games. They have lounges. If you feel like you want to donate something, they always offer donations, but they don't require it. You can have hot foods. They get free sandwiches, sodas, water, anything you need. And it's just a nice separate area, so you don't have to deal with the craziness of just possibly sleeping in a terminal at the airport. Yeah. It is actually a very helpful place.
All right, that was a good answer. Let's go to question 5. This time I'm going to go from Aaliyah all the way down to Zeller. What was your best and worst memory of your time here at Fort Irwin?
It's not bad, but I don't have best memories. I'd say the people that you meet here, you can make memories with. So definitely the people that you meet are the best memories. But worst memory? Oh God, I have nothing good to say. I don't know. Definitely the rotational schedule. Working 18 days, starting really early, not having the weekends off. And I mean, the good thing about it is that you do get a 3-day and then a 4-day, but still just working 18 days straight, long hours, it's very frustrating. And it's a morale killer, really, for me.
Real quick, because you say you work 18 days straight, can you explain that that's because of your unit? Because not everyone here has to work 18 days straight.
Yes, my unit is 11 ACR. I'm part of the RSS, which is Regimental Squadron Support. So we support the rotational units here. So we start basically on a Monday. We work the whole week. We work through that weekend. We're still coming in that Monday, and then the rotational unit usually gets back on the 18th. Well, I'm not the 18th. Oh my God, I just confused myself.
Because they're out there in the box for like.
Yeah, we're literally, there's no break. We don't get weekends off, nothing. We work 18 days straight with 11 ACR, so.
What about you, Jay?
I mean, my best memory is just being able, like, making friends that actually shared the same interest as me. So kind of like Zeller, like you, kind of like just people that actually shared, like, the same interests. Worst memory, I mean, there are things that I can say, but it's just certain things I can look past, like, go over it, not really worry about it. It's just a way of making me stronger, is how I see it.
You mean that time you got the Article 15?
Oh God, James.
You can talk about you. So you can talk about, if you're comfortable, what led that, like the process of how that happened.
So what led to that was the fact that just my surgeons kind of, like, they're not being mean. It was just more of a situational issue of me not being ready when I should have been ready. So I wasn't really prepared. I was just more of a complete mess, and it was like more of.
You weren't prepared to do what?
Just like how strict some of the surgeons can be. So like some sergeants, like they're more laid back. They just tell you, okay, do this, and then we won't worry about it later on, and like you can like kind of flow through it. Some sergeants, they will crack down on you like a bat out of hell or a hamburger. They will crack down, and with that, like you just have to be more careful on who you make friends with and who you talk to in a certain way. Because some sergeants, they will not take like your room being this way or that way. They actually make you like to make you be better. So, I mean,
How about you, Zoe?
It was actually the first summer I was here. I wasn't prepared for the weather out here, the heat that it could get 110 plus easily during the day. I probably got about as red as this shirt. I was on gate duty down at the railhead, and I fell asleep. They're calling me on the radio because apparently there was a truck at the gate. We were fully in charge of opening, closing, locking the gate. Didn't answer. They tried calling me on my personal cell phone. Didn't answer. Finally, NCO came down to the gate and was apparently yelling at me for 2 minutes before I finally woke up. So for the rest of the time, I had to do first and last gate shift while we were down there every day, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night. I couldn't sit down the entire time. So even when there was nothing going on at the gate, I was standing. They took the chairs away. And every 20 minutes, legitimately had to check in on the radio, reporting that I was awake. Learned my lesson real quick. Some of the better memories, obviously, like kind of James pointed on, just the friends you make here. With how secluded we are from everything, you really get to know everyone and become friends with everyone rather than going out to big cities and this and that. Another one for me, it's on a work level, being told I was going to the promotion board on a waiver. So I was going prior to when I was actually eligible to go. That just made me feel good knowing that my NCOs thought high enough of me to send me early to the promotion board.
All right, question number 6 here is, has Fort Irwin gotten any better or worse? This is for you personally since you've been here. Let's start with you, gentlemen.
So since being here for me personally, it has gotten better. There's certain things you can and can't do right now, but being how far away we are from everything, it makes it a tight-knit community here. You really get to know the people you work with. You really get to know the people everywhere on base, from people at your company to the people at 24. There's going to be days where you just want to go home and you question why you signed that contract in the first place. But then there's days, where, end of the day, it's the weekend, it's the 4-day, friends are barbecuing, you're getting out, you're going out playing basketball, volleyball, or even just sitting at a friend's house playing video games.
yeah.
So since being here for me, more good times than bad times personally.
For me, it's gotten better because like with everything that's going on, like it's more of a directional approach. So like with me being a host and everything that's going on, like I feel more in tune with the people I have around me instead of just being more further away than the people that aren't really near, because I can keep in contact with everybody I know, family, friends, playing GTA 5 on my Xbox. Like, heck, I literally started a clan for Forza Horizon 4, and we've literally been kicking butt. Like, constantly just drag racing, drifting, everything. And then on top of that, I can also focus more on my talents on top of being a host with everything that I've been doing.
All right. Worst with this whole situation going on, like I have not been able to go home. I haven't been able to see my kids. It's taking its toll, honestly. And Fort Irwin, for me, doesn't make it better. But like Zeller said, we are able to like go off post and for non-essential and just trying to get away from Fort Irwin as much as possible.
All right, question number 7. I'm going to encourage you guys to answer this modestly because this is your first duty station. But question 7 is this a good first duty station? in your honest opinions?
Honest opinion. With the unit I'm with, I wouldn't say it's the best duty station. Just for me, long hours, it takes its toll.
Fair enough, Jay.
I mean, it depends on your outlook. Like for a mechanic, I would say it is good for a studio station because you're like not as active, but at the same time you're kind of, with how we do things, it kind of depends on how you look at the work. So like if you're positive through it, you can get through the work. And then with what they're doing with mechanics now, I actually like it because of the fact that we're getting off at a decent time.
Yeah.
Probably even earlier than what we normally get off at.
Must be nice.
What about you, Zeller?
For me, the amount you do your jobs here with a rotation coming in every single month, especially as a 88 November, you see all different areas. I've been at every section of my job. So I've been down at the railhead, learning the upload and download of the vehicles coming in. I've been at our air section dealing with learning the process of managing the incoming and outbound flights. And now at my surface section, we deal with the literal buses coming in and in processing thousands of soldiers every single month to get them in and out of here. Just the sheer amount of doing your job here, it has probably taught me better than going to like a normal duty station, to be honest.
All right, the next question here is, do you plan to re-enlist? Now, if you already have, do not say where and do not say when. That's why we take InfoSec. But if you want to re-enlist and you would like to say where you would like to go to, or if you don't plan to re-enlist at all, that's how you answer this question. Start with you first, Jane.
I mean, in all honesty, yes. Just like the place I want to go though is Germany. Like only place. Like.
So if you don't get Germany, you're just done, or you're fine with? Is
If
it
I
the
don't,
overseas part, or is it just, what is it?
it's just something that my family's been wanting me to go. Like, cause my dad's already been there, so he's been giving me the advice of like, yeah, try and get Germany as much as you can. It's really fun to go out there. And because of that, I'm like, okay, I'm curious on what Germany is like now.
All right. What about you, Leah?
Do I plan to re-enlist? This place makes me not want to, but then I always hear, don't base everything around Fort Irwin. Like, this isn't the real army. So, hearing that makes me want to re-enlist. I at least want to do one overseas and then come back and possibly get out. If not, if I like the overseas, I'm going to try for like something different. But
What about you, Zeller?
I came in thinking 100% I wanted to do at least 2 contracts. That was my idea from the get-go. After the second one, it all depends on how it plans out. Like she said, this place as a first duty station sometimes ruins it for a lot of people. With the sheer amount of work that we do here, it just beats them into the ground to where they're like, screw it, I'm done. And also, don't let this place ruin it for you. I've had a few friends saying they're done. They've been here for like a year. They want to go home already. And it's a lot different going to other duty stations. Even though this is only my first, I've been to a few others visiting friends or family. It's completely different. You won't be working 10, 12, 13, 14-hour days. See what's available. Try going overseas. Try going somewhere maybe if you want to be close to home. Some people always try to go close to home. For me though, I want to try to go overseas at least once. Where? We'll see what's available when my window opens up soon.
Alright. Something else I'm gonna add on top of that is the amount of time you guys enlist for. So mine was 3. I know some people actually re-enlist for 5 to 6. So if majority of you guys have been in for around 2 years and some change, you might have a year, or maybe some of you have 4 years left. Does that change you guys wanting to re-enlist or not?
Personally, it doesn't change it for me. Like when I first signed, it was for 4 active.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people fail to realize, like, you do that 4 years, technically you still have time in the inactive reserves. But I plan, like I said, I've been in a little over 2.5 years, so I got at least about 1 year and 4 months left. But regardless, I plan on doing at least one more contract, depending where I go or how long, at least another 3 years. But shouldn't change it for me, at least.
Did you both enlist for 3 or more or less?
I mean, at least three for me, because after that, I'll be good to go. I'm gonna go do what I actually want to do and just be set.
But no, like he was saying, like, what was your initial contract for how long?
Like three and some change.
I enlisted for 4 years. Exactly what Zeller said. 4 years active, 8 years reserve.
No, it's 4 active and then it would be 4 inactive reserve. Your
Yeah.
initial first contract, regardless of how long your active duty part is, like mine was 4, hers was 4,
Yeah.
James was 3.
What
Your
is your-
initial contract in total, some people fail to realize, is a total of 8 years.
Yeah.
So you can get out, be working your civilian job, but
They can still call you up. And
they
say,
could call you
"Hey."
back, you know,
We
if
need-
something
we
happens.
need the boss.
Yeah. For example, there's a movie out there called Stop Loss.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They got called back when they were supposed to be home. It almost happened to my brother when he was in. So,
Yeah.
This next question is, what would you rate Fort Irwin on a scale from 0 to 10? 0 being the worst, 10 being heaven.
it all depends. Like for me, experience-wise being here, there's been highs and lows, but honestly, I'd give it somewhere around like a 7.5, 8, just because it helped me learn a lot about my job up to this point. It helped me, definitely, like the area I grew up in, I was necessarily only around like one certain group of people. Being here, it's opened up to like meeting a lot of different people from a lot of different ethnicities, races, and it just forces you to get to know people here, being it such a small area and how far away we are from everything. Like I said, definitely around like a 7.5, 8 for me.
For me, I'll say, in all honesty, I'll say around like a 6 to a 7 for me, because it like varies on the situations, but at the same time, it just like you just have to push through is how I feel. Like, don't let what most people say get you down. Just push through it, and you should be able to succeed outside of this place.
All right. I'm normally never this negative, but I'm gonna have to do a 5 just because of my unit. So again, the hours, it has a lot to do with it. I work so freaking much, but like Zeller said a couple questions before, was that you actually really do get to learn your job here, and I've done that. And the people that I work with, they actually do make work tolerable, and yeah, I'm 5.
All right, so this last question is there anything, my fault, is there any advice for incoming soldiers that you guys would like to give about where, any tips, tricks, or advice?
Some people say you don't need a car. Like, as you said in your last video, in your opinion, you don't necessarily need a car. But not having a car out here, how far away we are from everything, you're going to want to get off eventually and go do things. And not everyone may be leaving post all the time.
Yeah.
And it's hot. It is real hot here. Even the winters don't get terribly cold here.
So don't buy a new car. I don't blame you.
Yeah, no, buy a used one even. Like, a lot of people, there's people always selling used cars when they're leaving here because they don't want to ship it. They just don't want to deal with getting it, going halfway across the country, go home. Get something. Get some form of transportation so you're not walking everywhere. I should listen to my own advice, but that's a different story. Just take in as much as possible, especially being a new soldier. It's going to be a lot. There's going to be days where you think you can't handle it. But then, end of the day comes, you go home, you get done, you get out of here, you go to a different duty station, you go home. Take in as much as possible, even if it seems like it's too much some days. Just try to stay positive, especially being in the desert, how hot it can be, how secluded we are from everything. There's going to be days where you don't like it, but it's all for the better in the end, to be honest, in my opinion.
I mean, like what Zeller said, I agree 100%. Please get a car. Like, I should be taking my own advice, but I mean, it's gonna be necessary with how things are out here, because with how the heat is and like the winters are, like you need some fine line between that to cover you up between all this dust and desertness that happens over here, because getting dust in your eye is not fun, especially when you're just walking to the DFAT. That wind is brutal.
I'm happy I don't have to go there.
Same. Stay positive. That's it.
Alright, well, I think that was gonna go for the video. I think I have one question that I'm gonna pass off to Zeller. Is a question we got on our last video, which was, do we deploy at Fort Irwin? Could you answer that one, Zeller?
So in my company, there's actually 2 companies in one. There's our quote-unquote deployable, and then there's our non-deployable side. There's always been talks, like there are some units from Fort Irwin that have gone and come back since I've been here. But then, there's also been talks of certain parts of my company possibly having to go somewhere. Is it a definite? Nothing's ever guaranteed, but they're having us take precautionary steps to be ready if we get that call, like, you got 2 days to be out of here. So it is possible, even being on the support brigade, it is possible to go somewhere. Highly doubtful, but they're having us take steps to get certain things that we need, certain items, certain gear, to be ready if they call us tomorrow and say, hey, you're jumping on a plane in 2 days, get out. So highly doubtful, but don't say no, because anything can happen. I never thought I would be going anywhere coming here, because that's what I was originally told. So.
Alright, well, that's gonna do it for this video, and that'll wrap it up. Thank you.